Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Bashem Rakah Kodash. My name is Yakabo from Plain Tables Camp in Philly. And I keep purposely putting it, back in the news. This is The Hill, January 23rd, 2023. It says human, it says microchip implant takes center stage. All right, because what's eventually going to happen is, the laws, the freedoms that we have now in America anyway, is going to continue to gradually erode until some great event happens in which they have to they will force a new system on the population. All right. So it says, however, it would be, what I highlighted, 50,000 people have elected to have subdermal CHIP surgically inserted between the thumb and index finger. Serve as the new swipe key or credit card. In Germany, for example, 2,000 people. So the 50,000 people, I don't know where they elected. Maybe it's in America. Not sure. So talking about Shakespeare, and this is nothing is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. That's how how Esau's think. All right. Shakespeare was Israelite. But when the implant is made mandatory, I can see that's a phrase that they're going to use. Nothing is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. Because Esau, he's trying to control your thinking also. All right. It says, for example, 2,000 Germans have opted to receive these implants. One man even used it to store a link to his last will and testament. So that's another use. I don't know how to link it, how he did that, but it's a link. I guess the information's on there. It says his will, the information. And it's linked to the Internet of Things, meaning devices connected to the Internet. IoT, Internet of Things. So smart devices connected to the Internet. It starts talking about how it can be hacked and all that crap. We have here, according to the technology is especially popular in Sweden as a substitute for paying with cash. Only 1 in 4 people living in Sweden use cash at least once a week. So that's very few people. Writes NPR, more than 4,000 Swedes have replaced key cards for chips, implants to use for gym access. There you go. So first it was the like a key fob, then a key card. Well, first it was a regular key, then it turned to like a key fob that you wave, you put on your keychain or whatever. Then it turned to a card. Now it's a actual chip implant that goes into your right hand or your left hand. All right. For chip implants to use for the gym access, e-tickets on railway travel, and to store emergency contact information. And so it's more convenient. Then it goes into how they're making laws to not discriminate against people who refuse the implant, as you can see here in Indiana. Hope you can see that. But the law, when you read into this Latin phrase here, because America is a clone, or let's say a shadow, a reincarnation of Rome, or the Greco-Roman Empire, have a term called inter arma enum salent legis, which means, I believe that means in war, time, silent, law. Meaning in time of war, law is silent. All right. For among arms, the laws are silent, but is more properly rendered as in times of war, the law falls silent. All right. The aphorism was likely first written in these words by Cicero. All right. So going down here, it talks about suspending habeas corpus. It says the military officer has no right to arrest and detain a person not subject to the rules and articles of war, except in aid of the judicial authority and subject to its control. Let's read upon what habeas corpus is. It says, in its more modern usage, the phrase has become a watchword about the erosion of civil liberties during wartime. In the immediate wake of September 11th attacks, the maxim was aired and subsequent in the media of the United States. They're trying to flash it, predictive programming. Like, look, we can't have these rules or you won't be safe. If we have this law and freedom, First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, if we have these things in place, we can't keep you safe. That's what they're trying to say. If they flash it, like, look, we can't keep following these constitutional laws and rules, and different countries have their own form of it, if any at all. We can't follow these rules and keep you safe at the same time. So it says here, the implication of the saying as currently used is in debate whether civil liberties and freedoms are subservient to a wartime national duty to self-defense. All right. That means, if I'm reading this right, that means civil liberties and freedom is subject to a wartime nation's duty of self-defense. So in order to defend the country, they have to, your freedoms and liberties come second. And we go down here. It says, in 2004, Associate Justice Antonin Scalia used this phrase to decry the plurality all right, decision Hamidi versus Rumsfeld, which upheld the detention of U.S. citizens as an enemy combatant without charge or suspension of habeas corpus. All right, so he held these U.S. citizens in this case as an enemy combatant without charge or suspension of habeas corpus. It says, many think it not only inevitable but entirely proper that liberty give way to security. So I was right, in times of national crisis. All right, so we ain't making this up. All right, so I was right up here when I was breaking that down. All right, that the extremes of military exigency and urgent need or demand inter arma enon salient legis. Oh, he actually said it. Oh shit. Okay. Whatever the general merits of the view that war silences law or modulates its voice, that view has no place in the interpretation and application of the Constitution designed precisely to confront war and in a manner that occurs with democratic principles to accommodate it. So whether he's for it or against it, when they say these things, whether they're for it or against it, they're really for it. I mean, they just flash it out there. All right, so you can read that and interpret it how you will. All right, but we know the plan is for the law to be silent. Many think it not an inevitability, not only an inevitability, I mean it's going to happen, certain to happen. Many think it not only inevitability, but entirely proper that liberty give way to security in times of crisis. All right, so whether he's for it or against it, just by mentioning that, like they'll flash and say, no, or KO, they'll say, e pluribus unum, out of many one. They're not saying how where the nation came together from many different parts and became one nation under God and liberty and all that. They're saying that because that's a way of them announcing the New World Order. All right, it's not good. All right? So when you hear someone in office in the government say "Inter arma enum salient legis," they're saying that when a crisis happens, all right, the First, Second, Fourth Amendment, all that is going out the window. All of it, Bill of Rights, and it's going to be ruled by a military dictatorship, which they're going to try to say it's not a dictatorship because they got rules and all that. But you don't control any of the rules. That's the point. That's what makes it a dictatorship. We're in a dictatorship now, actually. They give us rights. All right. They give us a Bill of Rights. All right. So it's going to get bad. It's going to get bad. All right. And they keep refreshing our memory. All right. About the implant. All right. And making little corny ass phrases like cyborgs. You know. Human microchip implants take center stage. All right. And the video doesn't have anything to do with the implant. So link will be in the description box. I may have missed it, but it's just flashing these stills with some music. So link will be in the description box. Alright. So got that. So I have Revelation 3. This is Revelation 3. This is to the church in Philadelphia, Asia Minor. 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. So if we hold fast to faith, no matter what happened, we're not gonna take that implant. It's impossible if we are the elect to take or receive that implant. All right. Which if you receive that implant in your flesh, you are 100% guaranteed to be not written in the book of life. All right, and you're going to die in the hellfire. Behold, I come quickly, hold fast, which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. All right, and so we know that the beast mark is the implant. All right, you cannot convince us of anything else. All right, and I got a clip to show you. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Because a lot of men are going to die. All right. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, meaning the men, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right. And the new system is about control. Look at Revelation 13, 15. It says, and he had power to give life into the image. So start rolling, right? Of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. And what includes in the image is the law. It's not the picture of Cesare Borgia. All right. It's Esau's law and order. Where we go back to it. Alright. Many think it not only inevitable, but entirely proper that liberty give way to security in times of national crisis. And like I said, whether he for it or against it, he actually wants this to happen. He wants the law to be silent. Because they're liars. They're practiced liars. All right, don't forget that about Esau. He's a practiced liar. Alright. They're going civil liberties and freedoms is subservient, meaning beneath a nation's wartime nation's duty of self-defense. So self-defense and order is worth more than the Bill of Rights, First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment. All right, your God-given rights, which is above all. All right, so this is the system. So whatever Esau tell you to do, you do. Whether you take drugs, you take implants. You go, you got to be here at 7 o'clock. You got to do this at 5 o'clock. Got to drink this. You know, the post-apocalyptic, dystopian futures. They're all on drugs. They're all swallowing pills. They're organizing work brigades. Constantly running on a run. That's the new system they're bringing in. All right, now here's basically in a nutshell what Esau going to do. This is the image. All right, you know, it's displaying. It's displaying, concubinage, if that's the proper way to say it. But this is the system. All right, he's telling you what to do, when to do it.
Hooded viper simply slithers into the forest. You, Maram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45. Bring a friend. Hooded viper simply slithers into the forest. You, Maram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45. Bring a friend. Hooded viper simply slithers into the forest. You, Maram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45. Bring a friend.
It's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, 1991. All right. So that's the part of it. So basically, whatever they tell you to do, you got to do it. All right. All right, and they frame it. Remember, America is framed after the ancient Roman Empire. All right, and I've done lessons on the police and firefighters coming from the Roman Empire. That's this video. All right, you can check this video out. Conspiracies in the Bible, and America is a rebirth of ancient Rome. All right. So the image of the beast is the system. All right, whatever they tell you to do, you got to do. All right, and one of them things you got to do is take that implant. It's a pretty good video. It's kind of long. It's 48 minutes. Police and Secret Police. It's a Roman Empire book. And it talks about the firefighters and the night patrols. All right, America is a carbon copy of ancient Rome. Let's do that control again. It's control. The new system is about control. And this is what's going to happen to women. I said forever. Why is it not looping?
Hooded viper simply slithers into the forest. You, Maram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45.
Turn that down so I can keep
Bring
moving.
a friend.
All right, there you go. Yeah, you women that don't have husbands.
Hooded viper simply
That's the Edomite.
You,
Those two white women gonna be you.
10:30 tonight. You, 10:45.
All right,
Bring a friend.
that's just a caveat.
Hooded viper simply slithers into the forest. You, Maram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45. Bring a friend.
So new system is about control. I'll end it there. The implant crisis. All right. Well, crisis is gonna bring about the implant, and they're keeping it in the news. This is January 1st, January 23rd, 2023. All right. So hope you're edified. Shalom.